doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or what kind of dog you have. Flyball is the sport for you. Welcome back, everyone, to another Flyball Friends interview. Today we have another person from Skidmarkz. And without further ado, let's get right into this next one. All right, welcome, Emily. I'm so glad that you could take time out of your day to be here with me. It's so glad getting to meet you. If you could introduce yourself for everyone today.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this. My name is Emily Helin. I am originally from Illinois, but I currently live in Iowa, and I play flyball on Skidmarkz. Yeah, so thank you so much for having me here.
That's awesome. So how many dogs do you have?
I have 3 border collies. The oldest one is now retired from flyball, very reluctantly, but she's enjoying retirement life. Her name's Fly. She's going to be 13 here in a couple months. Then I have Rush, who is a 5-year-old border collie, and then Sweep, my youngest, just turned 3. So
awesome. Are they all racing then? Or I guess the one is retired, but are the other 2 racing?
Yes, Rush and Sweep are running. So, well, not this year, but.
So how long have you been playing flyball for then?
I have been playing since I went to my first practice in 2012 with Fly. So I've been playing ever since then. Fly took about 1.5 years to get up and running to run in tournaments. So I've been participating in flyball for about 8 years.
Awesome. Is that typically how long it takes to about train a flyball dog?
I really think that it depends on the dog. Fly came to me as an older dog. She was going on 5. She was a very herdy border collie. She came from a sheep farm. She didn't really work out on sheep there, so she definitely had a lot of movement sensitivity that we had to work through. So I think it definitely depends on the dog. The flyball bred dogs, when you get them as a puppy, I think they tend to take a little bit less time than some other dogs, but Sweep and Rush took a little less time than Fly did. Rush took about 1 year. Sweep actually has probably the least training out of all of my dogs. He, as a puppy, had shoulder surgery and then also a serious abdominal surgery that put him out of his puppy training for a long time. So I really think we got him up and running in, I don't know, a pretty short period of time for a dog, but he's a pretty cool dude, and he had a lot to overcome as a puppy, but then he's really prevailed and become a pretty solid little flyball dog. So really depends on the dog and what issues you may come through with them. So
for sure. Now, what do you do for a living?
I am a vet tech. I work at a 24/7 emergency clinic, and I primarily do ICU and emergency stuff. So we are open 365 days a year. Yesterday was probably one of the busiest days of the year so far for me. I pulled an 18-hour shift. So I also do, I'm one of the rehab techs. We have a rehab program, so dogs recovering from surgery, geriatric dogs, dogs in weight loss programs, or just getting in shape programs, things like that. I'm one of the techs that helps with that, with the water therapy and exercises and things like that. So
you get a little bit extra with flyball even. You can throw some of that stuff in there for your dogs.
Right, it definitely comes in handy, keeping my dogs in shape and helping teammates to keep their dogs in shape, or helping them with recovering from injury.
For sure. Now, what got you playing flyball?
I got Fly. Fly is actually my first dog ever. I got her in 2011, and then, 2012. And one of my coworkers at the time, another vet tech, was playing flyball in Skidmarkz, and she said, "Oh, good, you have a dog. Now you can play flyball." So she brought me to my first Skids practice. I had no idea what I was doing, and nor did Fly. But they kind of really took me under their wing and taught me so much about dog training, and and really, really just got me hooked on the sport.
That's awesome. So is there anything that you would recommend to someone starting out in flyball?
So starting out, I would definitely recommend finding a team that you mesh with well. You end up spending a lot of time with the people on your team. I was very fortunate enough to just fall into a team that I get along with so well. I really love everyone on the team. They're just like my second family. So definitely finding a team that you mesh with and that have the same training ideas as you and things like that. Also, I do think it's important always to, as you go through the sport and as you advance in the sport, remembering to have fun with your dog. I think sometimes titles and points and trophies and things like that get, a little bit, they make people a little blindsided, but your dogs don't care about that. So just remember to have fun, and that's ultimately what we're doing. So
for sure,
just have fun with your dog.
Excellent. Now, do you have a most memorable dog that you got to watch maybe when you were first starting to play flyball?
Honestly, when I first started playing flyball, any dog that I watched do it, I was like, just baffled. Like, what is this world of dog sports? I remember watching Nikki, our Australian Shepherd on our team, who is Jane's dog, and I was just like blown away by her energy and just watching her run. She was so quick to me, and just every dog. It was just a completely new world for me that I'm really glad I was opened up to. Now, a dog that I am so impressed watching is Smash on OSR, who's Jen Howell's dog. He has 3 legs and he can run faster than my 2 border collies. So I really enjoy watching him. Anytime he's in the lane, I always want to look in there and watch what he's doing. Just so impressive that, a dog with only 3 legs can play. Any dog can play, but he's super impressive to me.
For sure. Now, how often does your team practice?
We practice at least twice a week. Wednesday evenings, typically like 6:30 to 9:30 or so. And then Sunday mornings from 8:30 to noonish. Depending on the time of year and what's going on, sometimes we do, or also the number of green dogs and things like that we have, or things we need to be working on. Sometimes we'll add an additional practice, or sometimes even a conditioning practice. So we're kind of crazy.
Now, how often would you go to tournaments then?
We typically do, in a normal year, tournament about once a month or so. Not quite as frequently during the winter, given that we live in Iowa in the Midwest and weather is a little tricky to travel around sometimes, but usually about a tournament a month.
Fair enough. Do you travel lots then for flyball, or do you mostly just do local stuff?
A little bit of both. I do try to travel as my team does. We do kind of out of state, other Midwest tournaments. We'll go to Minnesota, Nebraska to do tournaments. And then typically we'll travel for U-Fly Champs and NAF Can-Am. So we do like to do those tournaments. I do try to travel with them as I'm able to. We'll go to Wisconsin sometimes too. So, I love to travel. It's fun to see other teams that we're not used to playing or racing against. So
that's cool. Now, what's the farthest you've been for flyball?
I guess Indianapolis for Can-Am was probably the furthest I've traveled.
And how far is that for you?
It's about 5 hours.
Wow, I wish.
I know, watching some of your other interviews, listening to people say how far they're having to travel every weekend, it's pretty impressive, but all in the name of flyball.
Yeah, for sure. Now, is there a place that you would still like to go, whether it's compete, train, or even just watch?
I think it would be really cool to go to the World Cup over in Europe. That would be super cool. I like to travel anyway, and going and seeing teams from other countries would be really awesome.
100%. Now, what would be one of your favorite tournaments you like to go to besides any of the championships?
I do really like going to some of our local Amana tournaments in Amana, Iowa. we have several teams in the Midwest that do host tournaments there, and it's 20 minutes from my house, so that's pretty nice. It's definitely a bonus sleeping in your own bed and not having to wake up quite as early. So
I could imagine. Yeah,
I always look forward to our Amana tournaments.
That's awesome. All right, now, is there something that you would bring to a tournament that someone else would consider weird?
Oh, my teammates probably would think that it is very weird that I continue to bring an elevated dog bed to put in my X pen, because none of my 3 dogs ever lay on it. Ever. But I continue to bring them a bed because I guess I just feel bad that they're continually laying on the grass or the concrete, but that's where they prefer to lay. So probably not weird to other people, but my teammates definitely always comment that it is a little weird that I continue to bring it.
The one day you don't bring it will something they'll want to be on it, right? So
exactly. Yep. Sometimes I do have the occasional sweep who goes and lays under the bed, but that's not why I bring it.
That's awesome. All right, now, do you prefer starting or passing more?
Ooh, I love starting, and I am lucky to have Sweep and Rush, who are very consistent, solid start dogs. I do enjoy the challenge of passing though too, and I have definitely enjoyed working on that over the years too. I'm happy that both Sweep and Rush, that are my racing dogs right now, are able to run in start or passing. They can pretty much pass into anybody at this point, so that's an added benefit of, you know, having a consistent dog to release and being able to find that sweet spot passing any dog.
For sure. Now, what would be one of the more important things you learned when you first started playing flyball?
When I first started playing flyball, I really learned how to train a dog. I came in with Fly being my first dog. I knew nothing about dog training. And I learned how to mark behaviors and positive reinforcement. And I really just learned how to work with the dog and build a working relationship, because I hadn't had that before. And it was definitely something that I learned from my team. I also learned how to yell. I got a lot of flack early on for not yelling loud enough for my dog, and you need to speak up, and now I occasionally scare some line judges yelling. So I think I successfully learned it.
That's awesome. Now, is there a team out there that you like racing against, or maybe even just a person that you enjoy racing more than anyone else?
I love when we get to race our friends on Disorderly Conduct or OSR. We just have a lot of friends on those teams, and it's just always, you know, good competition, and so they're always a good time. If my dogs had to choose, we would say that we like to race Bob-a-Toll and Marbles in start. Marbles, for some reason, always gets my dogs like in a complete tizzy. So that's probably the dog they would choose that they like to race the most.
Excellent. All right. Now, what exactly do you like about playing flyball?
I love playing flyball because it gives me something really awesome to do with my dogs. I've really built really awesome relationships with them. They love it. I love it. We get to work together individually, but also the team aspect of it too. I grew up playing team sports, and then in my adult life, I didn't really have that. So finding flyball was really awesome. I was able to, you know, get linked up with a really cool group of people that are, you know, my second family at this point. And I really do enjoy the team camaraderie and that sort of aspect of it too.
For sure. Now, is there a funny story that you could tell me about Jane?
There are a lot that she definitely probably wouldn't want me to tell, but one that I think of that's probably more embarrassing for me. We were at a tournament in Omaha, and we were sitting next to each other, probably, you know, about a foot away, pre-social distancing, and we were just chatting, and I laughed at something and spit my entire mouthful of drink into her face from about a foot away. So that's something that I don't think Jane will ever let me live down, and I feel pretty bad about, but it was also pretty funny.
Now, what would be one of your earliest memories of Flyball?
Going to my first tournament, I really had no idea what I was walking into. Again, just new to the dog sport world. I had no idea. But I got there and I was told that I was going to help box load, and Robin on my team was going to show me how to box load. And she has this like super methodical way of holding the balls in her hands and the order that they're in. And she was telling me all of this, and I had to do it like the next race. So that was something that I will always remember, and maybe why, box loading sometimes stresses me out still to this day. Thanks, Robin.
That's awesome. Now, do you have another favorite memory of Flyball, whether it's on or off the racing lanes?
Certainly all three of my dogs' debuts are always something that I always cherish. Each of them had a different path that they went through to get to their debut. We had different challenges with each of them. So those are always certainly things that I will always cherish, are their first races. And I also will always remember in 2017, we placed first in Division 4 at Can-Am. That was Rush's lineup. And while it wasn't like the big show, the first place, grand champions, it was the first time that I have been in that position in a dog sport with one of my own dogs. And that particular lineup had a couple struggles that whole weekend with some dog confidence issues and things like that. And then they just completely killed it in the Division 4 finals, and we won, and it was so awesome. It's just something that I'll always remember, and it was a really just super cool lineup of dogs. So
excellent. Now, do you have any other personal goals playing Flyball?
I just want to keep playing. Hopefully in the near future, be able to play again. I want to continue to, just have fun with my dogs, keep them conditioned, keep them safe, and just keep having fun with them. They love it, and I love it. So that's really why we play. So.
Excellent. Now, do you have anyone in Flyball that you look up to as a mentor, whether it was when you were first starting or continuing to this day?
It'll be a little bit cheesy, but my own team, so some of the more founding members of Skidmarkz, specifically Jane McQuillan, she really taught me how to train a dog. She taught me how to teach a dog to do things, and I am really grateful for the team members that took me in under their wing with like zero dog training knowledge whatsoever. And they gave me a chance and taught me so much. And the places that I've been able to go with my dogs at this point is just so awesome. I'm really very grateful for them.
That's awesome. Now, do you have any hobbies outside of playing Flyball?
Yes, we play. We do dock diving. We play a fair amount of disc, and actually just started competing in disc. So that's been really fun. And we also do herding sort of for fun. And then we love to do trick training. So I love training tricks, complicated advanced tricks. We have a lot of fun doing that too. Excellent.
So really, the dogs just keep you busy.
They do, yes. Having 3 border collies is a full-time job, and it's on its own. Even the older one, she definitely still wants to do everything, so.
That's awesome. All right, well, that's all the questions I have for you, Emily. The only thing I have left is I need you to challenge someone to do an interview with me. Do you have anyone in mind?
I do. So going back to one of my favorite dogs to watch running would be Smash on OSR, his mom, Jen Howell. I would love to hear what she has to say about training and definitely running dogs like Smash, and then she has little border terrier Ethel. I would love to hear the comparison of the two. So that's who I would challenge.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, Emily, for doing this. It's been great getting to actually meet you and get to hear your stories. So hopefully at some point we'll just see each other in the racing lanes real soon.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Emily. It's been fantastic getting to meet you and hear your stories. If you guys are new here or you just haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, like and comment this video if you like today's video, or if you have any questions about Flyball or anything for Emily. If you guys would like some more information on Emily's team or information on Flyball in general, there are tons of links in the description below that you guys could check out. If you guys would like to check out Emily's Instagram page, she has got over 1,000 followers on there. I'll leave a link in the description below. Other than that, it's been great getting to catch up with everyone, and hopefully we'll see each other real soon. Until next time, guys, see you then.